When it comes to motorsport, F1 is seen as the elite of the elite and top of the pile when it comes to global reach. Rally car, NASCAR, 24-hour Le Mans, MotoGP, and the FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Yep, that's a real thing. All of these do not even come close to F1 if we're being brutally honest about it. The question I always find myself asking is, in all seriousness, with teams spending millions on building cars, treating sponsors, paying drivers salaries and all that jazz, how do teams actually secure the bag and earn money from F1 after all these expenses? Welcome to the F1 house. My name is Sakki and I'm going to be discussing how F1 teams make money and get paid. So I don't forget later, one way that you can show appreciation for videos like this is to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get all my latest videos. Now, teams get paid from F1 based on performance of the previous year. So for the purpose of this video, and because this season's got off to a bit of a trickle, we will be using the earnings from the 2019 season based on the 2018 season results. Payments are split into three sectors. Payment 1 is a fixed share of revenue paid to teams who finish in the top 10 of the championship in 2 of the past 3 seasons. And seeing as there are only 10 teams competing at the moment, that money is guaranteed. All you have to do is turn up to the racetrack and drive. Payment 2 is a payment that comes based on the team's finishing position in the previous championship. So basically, the better position you finish in, the more dollar you'll get the following year. So if you're Mercedes, you'll be getting the biggest payment 2 out of all the teams. Now, bonus payments. These are bonus payments agreed by Bernie Ecclestone to ensure that the biggest teams committed to F1 for the foreseeable future up until 2020. The first one is known as the CCB, or the Constructors' Championship bonus. This is received by Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull and McLaren. But hang on a minute, because things get even more interesting, because a few of those teams receive another additional bonus on top of that bonus.
What then did you think?
Easy money!
And they are Red Bull, Mercedes, Williams and Ferrari. Red Bull scooped up another bonus for being the first team to commit to F1 at the start of the 2010s for that agreement. Mercedes, with their sharp eyes, noticed what was going on and wanted to get in on the action. They came to an agreement with Bernie that if Mercedes could win back-to-back championships, it would receive a bonus, which it has. And in fact, Mercedes has gone on to do it multiple times and become the most successful team in the modern era. Williams, with their immense history, get a heritage bonus payment of $10 million for just being Williams. I really wish someone would pay me $10 million just for being me. Now, this $10 million makes a huge amount of difference because even though they finish well below their rivals, strangely, they end up financially better off. Ferrari get another bonus called the long-standing team bonus. This is actually bigger than the payment 2 amount given to the championship winner in any given year. This deal was engineered to acknowledge Ferrari's history and the fact that they competed in every Formula 1 season since its formation in 1950. Ultimately, it means that Ferrari often take home the biggest amount of money, roughly a fifth of the overall price allocation. I guess if you're Ferrari and can get away with being paid for your loyalty and history, you don't really need to explain yourself or give excuses like some.
They saying I drove a getaway car, but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story.
Taking a look at the 2019 payout for teams, the thing that really stands out is that despite Mercedes being the most dominant team, Ferrari still ended up being paid the most from F1. It is also noticeable that in 2019 that Williams earned a higher income than most teams from F1, despite finishing last in the championship after Force India's disqualification. Williams also got paid more than Toro Rosso and Sauber, who are now Alfa Romeo. Now, looking at this objectively, it's actually quite shocking. The teams that are getting the majority of the money, they're getting rewarded significantly more just for turning up each year. The heritage and history of the teams are being rewarded in the case of Williams and Ferrari, whilst Red Bull, Mercedes and McLaren all receive bonuses because they had the ability to negotiate them into their contract for committing to F1. With what's happened in 2020, I now understand why it's so important for some teams, namely Williams, to ensure that racing happens in some form during 2020. The financial reward for them as a team is just huge and disproportionate to the actual performance of their team and cars. As long as they turn up and race, they'll get a cool $35 million plus $10 million. Now, it does make me think that change is needed just to make sure that there is an equal incentive for teams to go racing each week, because at the moment teams are getting rewarded just for their history or their influence around the paddock. I also think that as it stands, every team currently gets paid $35 million. The top teams will get this amount, and because there are only 10 teams currently, it's free cash. This probably acts as a deterrent or as an increased risk to any new team entering the sport. Any new team coming in will have to do it by partnering with another works team and have very deep pockets to make it to year 3, as you have to compete for 2 out of the 3 seasons of those 3 seasons and finish in the top 10 to secure payment 1. Now, it must also be noted that teams have large sponsors who pay for their logo to be slapped all over the team car, uniform, and just about any surface they can find. This is a huge part of the sport, and quite frankly, most teams wouldn't be able to go racing without significant sponsorship. And that just about finishes off the video about how F1 teams get paid. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, everyone. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to ensure that you get all my latest videos.